Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, gentlemen, for your service. I wanted to focus on an issue of importance to constituents in my district. I've had the privilege of hosting both of you, Secretary Esper, in your capacity when you were Secretary of the Army, as well as General Milley. I've spent time with you at Fort Drum. And given some of the recent press reports regarding Afghanistan, as you know, I represent military families and 10th Mountain Division soldiers who are currently deployed in Afghanistan. And I wanted to get your comments, General Milley, on your commitment and the department's commitment to force protection at all costs. That is one of my top priorities, whether it's rebuilding military readiness, investing in training, investing in equipment, and having the most exquisite, exceptional intelligence that's verified out there. But I think it's important for families to know the lengths to which the department goes to ensure that we are protecting the safety and well-being of our service members deployed. I'll start with you, General Milley.
You have 1,000% commitment. I've got 3 tours in Afghanistan and multiple tours in a lot of other places. And I've buried a lot of people in Arlington National Cemetery, so I am committed to the nth degree to protect our force, and we will ensure that they have all the right equipment, training, alerts, warnings, intel, etc. I know what you're referring to, specifically with the Russians, and I will tell you that we were at the highest levels of force protection. Units and people are and were informed and will remain informed. We're going to get to the bottom of all that, but I can assure the families that the force protection of our force, not only for me, but for every commander all the way down the line, that's the number one priority for every one of us, absolutely.
Thank you. Secretary Esper?
I 1,000% agree as well. I say it again as a former soldier myself with 1 combat tour under my belt. This is something I talk about with the commanders all the time, General Miller and General McKenzie on multiple occasions. We make adjustments all the time across the theater and other theaters, but force protection is number one. To take care of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, they are our most vital resource, our most trusted asset, and we will do everything and anything it takes to protect them.
My next question, and just so you know, I sit on the House Intelligence Committee, so I have received the classified briefings. Understanding we are in an unclassified setting right now, I also think it's important to talk about how we know, going years back, that Russia has meddled in Afghanistan, as well as other countries have also involved themselves in Afghanistan, counter to our commitments and our strategic goals in the region, whether that's Iran, whether that's China using economic tools. So I wanted to get your comment on that because I think it's important to consider that long-term impact rather than just this one illegal leak that's been covered in the media.
Well, on the specific to the Russians, yes, we've known for years that the Russians have been involved for their own national security interests in Afghanistan, and the Russians are not our friends, and their involvement is worrisome, and we monitor it closely and we take the appropriate actions. The Chinese are involved, the Pakistanis are involved, the Iranians. There's a lot of countries involved in Afghanistan, many of them have malfeasance of forethought against the U.S. and U.S. forces, etc. We're aware of a lot of that, not perhaps every single thing, but we're aware of a lot of it, and we take the appropriate measures. And with respect to the issue, and it was previously asked by one of the other congressmen, we are aware of the variety of intelligence that you briefed on this morning, and we are pursuing that.
Secretary Esper, any comments on that?
I share the same views as the chairman. The Russians have been involved, and many, many other countries and many other players, non-state players in Afghanistan for a long time. And we take all that into account, and I can tell you on other occasions we have adapted force posture, we've adapted authorities, equipment, you name it, rules of engagement to make sure that our forces were well protected and able to accomplish their mission.
And then my last question, can you discuss the damage that illegal leaks have on our ability to collect intelligence, on our force protection measures? Because I'm very concerned the damage that illegal leaks have in general when it comes to our national security.
I'm conscious of the clock. The illegal leaks are terrible. They're happening across the government, particularly in the Defense Department. I'm pushing forward on a new effort to remind people of OPSEC, whether it's pre-decisional, unclassified items or even classified items. It hurts our national security, it jeopardizes our troops, and it is just damaging to our government and our relationships with our allies and partners.
Thank you. Yield back.
Thank you.